forward just a little bit, real slow. Well, upon second thought in driving this, we figured this is at least 5 tons, and a lot of it is gravel and dirt. So what we're gonna do, and not everybody can do this, but I have a tractor and I have 5 acres. So Chelsea's gonna start picking through it, and we're gonna go bucket by bucket and try to separate the good and the bad. I have a magnet, we can run over it and get all the nails out and little small metal pieces, and then the gravel we can actually use. Where we're going to use it, not anywhere that we drive regularly, but there's drywall and metal and bits of concrete and all stuff.
Hi.
This will probably have cost $200 to $300 to dump, and we figure it's worth our time to go through it, make it clean, pull out the garbage, put it in another dumpster or wherever, and yeah, we'll use what's usable. So that's our plan. You're gonna pay for your mistake.
It's not my mistake.
This is your punishment. You sold the dumpster.
You're right, I did.
I mean,
To somebody that was putting garbage in it.
Well, there's garbage in it.
You're damn right there's garbage.
Everyone's idea of garbage is different. What is up, everybody? It is Life's Apprentice. Well, nice cool morning. Not humid at all, I'm sure. But it's supposed to be a very nice day. And you can see the beginning of the video, we were dumping out all of this mess. We left the dumpster up overnight, and we're gonna have to get in there and clean a little bit out. But this guy has a home. We're gonna take it there right now. That first 10 yard set, and somebody was asking a question about how to line up dumpsters with the trailer. I've talked about this in past videos, but it's been a while, and I'm gonna show you guys again. Now this is how we do it with the Nedland setup. This is very easy. With other setups, I don't have experience, and so I couldn't really tell you. I think with a roll-off truck, whether it's cable or hook lift, I think this is a lot easier. So you see the dumpsters in front of me, okay? And you're gonna wanna do this, we're at the yard, so this is a little bit more of a controlled environment. But when I'm backing into a driveway, whether I'm setting the dumpster or picking the dumpster up, I always try to back in with the driveway on the driver's side of the truck. And the reason for that is it's much easier to see your trailer and follow your trailer off your driver's side mirror than the passenger side mirror. Another thing that really helps is having automatic mirrors so that you can move them, because depending on the hill, there's a hill or this, that, the other thing, you can move them out wide, you can bring them in, you can go up and down, and that's gonna help you a lot. So, driver's side. So let's pretend our driveway is over here. It is on the driver's side. Now, I'm gonna be picking up this 10 yard right here. And when I back up to the 10 yard, I want to, it's a lot easier for me to back up where I'm not directly straight on with the dumpster. That way, in my mirrors, I'm able to see what my trailer is doing. Now you see these two tube supports. There's one there and one there. That's what we're gonna line up with, because our rollers are just inside of those tube supports. So we're gonna pull forward. And you can see the dumpster right there. Okay? Now you can start to see the trailer. So, like I said, I don't want to back straight into it, because then you lose your vision. Now here, you can see, right? Let's see. Right there is what we call the stinger. and that's your main rail that we want to line up with those ribs on the front of the dumpster. So now I'm going to turn the trailer where I can see it, and we need to get straight on, and I did a bad job of that. Kind of hard with the trailer, but ideally you want to be able to see that side of the trailer. Let's see if I can do this again. And you're never going to get every dumpster first try, and experience is everything when it comes to picking up dumpsters like this. Okay, now this is a perfect example. Now I'm perfectly lined up. Can you guys see? Let's see, right there is the rail, and right there is that support beam or whatever it is. So I'm gonna back up, and I like to try to get nice and close so that I don't have to get back in the truck and line it up. But you'll be able to see what I'm looking at is this rail right here in my mirror, and I'm lining it up with this right here. So when you're backing in on the passenger side, you can see it. It's just a little bit harder in the passenger side mirror. So when I have the chance, I always try to do it on the driver's side, and that's going to help you a lot. And all these dumpsters are the same. You're going to line them up all the exact same, at least our setup. Now, if you don't have a Nedland trailer and you don't have these, I know some people will put like white reflective tape right above the rollers. That might help you line up if you don't have a support like this going down to that. Maybe put like a white tape that you can see on one side or both sides. Even just a little spray paint or something, just something so you have something on the dumpster to line up with. If you can't see your rails and your stingers, well, I don't know. I know a lot of people put backup cameras on. We've never had an issue, and it makes it really easy to teach people how to back up once you get that figured out. Now, for sure, it takes practice. It 100% takes practice. It is not that easy. But once you're good at backing up and you have got it figured out and the way that you like it, it'll be pretty easy for you. So then I back up, and this might not be quite close enough, but I should be able to get my my cable on there, usually within a foot or two. So what we're gonna do, we just start up the trailer, and we'll hook this up. I'll show you. There you go, simple as that. I know that sounds simple. Once you practice it and you do it regularly, it's second nature. It is not hard at all. Not every dumpster is created equal though. I mean, you're gonna have some really tricky ones, and but in general, you can use that rule and it works. The diesel is in there. It's been running good. We haven't had any issues with it. It's got 160,000 miles on it, and I believe the suspension, the front suspension and the rear shocks are original. We got it with about 40,000 miles on it, and we have not done any suspension work. You can feel a lot of looseness in the front tires when you hit bumps and stuff like that. So pretty sure that's going to get all new suspension, and I believe it's probably time for pads on the brakes. So he's going to go through it, and when you get a vehicle and you start getting into that 120, 150,000 mile range and everything's all original, things start to go bad. And we're at that point with that truck where a lot of original parts are going to start going bad. Suspension's really important, especially doing a lot of miles and hauling a lot of weight. We don't have any uneven tire wear, which is surprising, but that's gonna all the dumpster trucks are gonna need new tires before winter. That'll be another expense. Both of these trucks had new tires last fall, and they only lasted a year. So it is what it is. You're putting a lot of miles and you got a lot of weight, and you know, in the winter driving 4-wheel drive, you gotta put money into these trucks for sure. This one's gonna need brakes and an oil change before too long. This one has 44,000 on it. We have the original tires on it, and I don't know, with these trucks, when they're running hard in the summer, I feel like every couple of weeks you need an oil change. It's crazy. Anyways, we're gonna get this 10-yard to its new home. Here we go. All right, we got this 10-yard set on a pretty steep hill. It's hard to tell on camera, but pretty steep hill. All right, we got this 20-yard. It's full. This is the one that we did the swap out yesterday afternoon, and we couldn't get it to the dump. But we actually have a home for this today. Worked out really good because we weren't expecting it yesterday afternoon. But at I think 12:30 today, I have a home for it right by the dump. So that worked out really nice. Now on to some more questions. One question I get all the time is, what is the most popular dumpster as far as size goes? It's a really tough question to answer, but I'll tell you my thoughts about it. Our most popular dumpster, seeing as we only have 4 of them, is 10 yards. The 10 yards are almost always sold out, and usually there is some sort of a wait list. So when we get one back next week or whatever, somebody else is already taking it. Now that being said, I don't want any more 10 yards. And there's a reason that the big companies, big dumpster companies, most of them do not have 10 and 15 yard dumpsters at all. So when we're sending out 10 and 15 yards, we're filling a niche within the market. Between the 20 and the 15 yards, we have the same amount. We have 18 of each, and it's really hit or miss, but it seems like every 2 weeks it goes into a cycle. So for 2 weeks we'll sell 15 yards, and then the 15 yards start coming back, and the next 2 weeks it's 20 yards. And you can see right behind me, we're in the 20-yard cycle right now. Now we had 2 10 yards here this morning. Both of those I just set, and we have 7 20s left, and we have, I forget, I counted 13 15 yards. Now, as far as the business side of the dumpsters go, what is the best size? The biggest. Because, now, and this isn't always the case, but many times I've had 10 yards and 20 yards that I've taken to the dump in the same day, and the 10 yards or even a 15 will weigh more than the 20 yard. We don't send out 20 yards for roofing and stuff like that. We do send them out for construction, so they do get fairly heavy. But if you have a 10 yard full of roofing and a 20 yard full of household, the 10 yard's probably going to be more heavy. So the best size dumpster is the biggest size dumpster, and the reason for that is you're getting the most amount of money for it. So if you're maintaining a roughly 30% profit margin on every single dumpster, the 20 yard is going to be the best, because the cost of renting a 20 yard is higher than a 15 or a 10 yard. So if you're profiting 30%, whatever that ends up being, the 20 yard is better. You have to figure, to drive around a 15 and a 20 and a 10 yard, your overhead, your labor, and your fuel are all going to be very, very similar. Now the dump fee is where it could vary, but basically your cost to drive around 10 yards versus 20 yards is going to be almost the same. So if I was to start with one size and one size only, I would do 20 yards. And you can also use the 20 yards, and I've never done this because I think people would take advantage of it. But you can send out 20 yards for 10 yards. You just paint lines on the inside of the dumpster for 10 yard, 15 yard. And then obviously if it's a 20 yard dumpster, 20 yard. I've never tried that. And once you get to scale, I think it's important to have multiple sizes of dumpsters to, you know, be able to give that customer exactly what they want. If you give a 20 yard instead of a 15 yard, it's very likely that they'll, you know, fill it over the 15 yard line. So the most popular dumpster and my favorite size dumpster is the 20 yard. We could sell a lot of 10 yards, but when we don't have 10 yards, people take 15 yards a lot of the time. Well, there she is. 20 yards set. We got her to the dump. I thought that one was gonna be heavier. It was $106 at the dump, so that's just over 2 tons. But got her set, and we're only a few miles from the dump. I've been trying for the last couple of years to get a lot more dumpsters into this town. This town is more saturated with competition, but we've done a good job. I would say we're setting at least several dumpsters a week. I've set, let's see, I've set 2 today, and we set 1 in this town yesterday. So we're doing pretty good. Our marketing's working and stuff like that. It'd be nice to get a lot more because it's very close to the dump, which is nice. Well, that's it for dumpsters today. It's about 1:30, so a shorter day. We ended up doing 3 sets and got 1 to the dump. Keep in mind, I'm going to be making videos every day this week. It's only Tuesday right now, so leave your questions in the comments that you'd like me to answer on the next several videos. And if you have topics that I'd like to talk about or you'd like me to talk about, leave those in the comments. Now I'm going to share kind of our overall numbers because it's been a little while since I did that. And I've been telling you guys that we're slower. And we are. And the reason for that is we're advertising almost double what we were last year. And the numbers just aren't there. As of today, well, as of August 1st, we are down 40 dumpster rentals for this year versus last year. Like I said in other videos, we're still paying the bills. We're still making money and everything like that. But you would figure when you double your advertising that your sales would increase. And they're not doing that. So I hope you guys like these videos. Like I said, it's Tuesday, and I'm gonna be doing another video Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So the Tuesday video will come out on Wednesday, and I'm just gonna send them out. This video wasn't nearly as interesting as yesterday's video. That's gonna be hard to beat. A 10 yard full of dirt, a 10 yard with 5 things in it, and a dumpster fire. You can't make that stuff up, and I try to keep these videos interesting for you, but that one, like I said, is going to be hard to beat. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Give me a thumbs up if you could. Leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys on the next one.